And here are the answers to the warm-ups on May 8th. So the first one says, what is the side length of a cube with a volume of 512 cubic inches? So with a cube, volume is, of course, length times width times height. So I have to figure out what three numbers, has to be the same number because all side lengths are the same in a cube, will give me the answer of 512. And you could guess and check that one, or that's also what the cubed root button is for. Because in volume, because the cubes are all the same, you could say side times side times side. It's all going to be the same number, which if you multiply the same number 3 times, means you have sides cubed. If you want to undo the cubed, that means you take the cubed root of both sides. So in any case, all I have to do is take 512 and find its cubed root. So I type in 512, I hit my cubed root button, and it ends up being 8. So if I did 8 times 8 times 8, I would get 512. 8 times 8 times 8, and there it is. Number 2. A right triangle has a hypotenuse of 10 units. I'm going to do a generic right triangle again. Hypotenuse is 10, and the A leg length is 2 units. And of course, I want to know what the other leg length is. So to solve this, just have to use that Pythagorean theorem. Remembering Pythagorean theorem means you take one of the legs and you square it, add it to the other leg squared, and together they will equal the hypotenuse squared. So I throw in what I know. I know one of the legs is 2, and I can square it. Well, 2 squared is 4. The other leg is a mystery right now. And the hypotenuse is 10, and I need to square that. And 10 squared, 10 times 10 is 100. So now to get the leg squared by itself, which is basically like solving for x, I would subtract 4 from both sides. Now we get the leg squared is equal to 96. And my last step, since I don't want to know how big the square is, I want to know how long its side is, I have to undo the square. So I take the square root of both sides. So I'm missing side length. The exact answer would be the square root of 96. If you wanted to estimate it, take your calculator and go square root of 96. And you can see it's irrational, but it's about 9.79 or 9.8 for your answer. And the last one, how many solutions do each of the equations have? So again, many equations have one answer, but some of them have no answer and some of them have an infinite number of solutions. So first thing I do is I'm going to combine like terms on the right hand side, which will give me 5x's plus 2 equals 4x minus 1. And then if I subtract 4x's from both sides, that will leave me with a negative 1 equals x plus 2, and then just subtract 2, and I will get negative 3 equals x. And because it told me what the answer is, that means this has one solution. Negative 3 is your one answer. The second equation is negative 4 minus 2x equals x plus 2 minus 1. So again, we're going to combine like terms on the right-hand side. 2 minus 1 is 1, so negative 4 minus 2x equals x plus 1. Get all the x's to the same side. I'll add 2 x's to both sides, which gives me negative 4 equals 3x plus 1. I'll then subtract 1 from both sides to get negative 5 equals 3x, and divide both sides by 3. So once again, I ended up with an answer. Negative 5/3 is my solution. So both these actually had one solution. If it had no solution, that means you get an answer of something like 0 equals 1, which doesn't make any sense. And if you have an infinite number of solutions, that means when you're done, you get something that does make sense, but your x's are completely gone.